Long, long ago, the nine-tailed fox defeated the evil Tenmataro and sealed the fallen demon away.
Narration. Also, we didn't see crap in that battle. All we saw was two demons charging each other and Tenmataro falling from the sky.
Night-night, Alderman. Sweet dreams!
Okay, that is pretty gruesome, not gonna lie. Maybe that image also prompted the initial M rating on the 3DS. Also, I don't usually comment on the killer being shown in the opening because the idea of Ace Attorney was more about solving how to prove the defendant's innocence and nail the real killer than finding out who the real killer is. That was well established from the very first game in the series, but sometimes episodes really shouldn't show the killer in the act. This is one of them.
At long last, the revival of Tenmataro is at hand.
Weird how he'd say that considering he knows what Tenmataro really is. Prior to the courthouse I knew it! Episodes following the tutorial are prequels! It's Ace Attorney Investigations 1 all over again! This is my 7th sin. We haven't heard any custom-made voice lines yet, but gosh dang! Trucy doesn't look as good in 3D.
My name is Apollo Justice. I've been practicing law for about a year, but I still got a lot to learn.
Yeah, all because you have kind of a crappy boss. Then again, this is before he became an attorney again.
She sometimes makes me help with her magic tricks.
And what's wrong with that? You're one of the agency's talents as well!
I was under the impression that I was a lawyer.
Maybe Phoenix should consider hiring more people. Then they could be Trucy's assistants and Apollo can focus on his job more.
Daddy said, with those horns of yours, you'd make great addition to their festival. I mean, you look like a Japanese demon. Wasn't that so thoughtful of him, Polly?
Ever wonder why Apollo goes through this edgy arc near the end of the game? The way he's treated, it's honestly no wonder. You're telling me I can't just examine the areas whenever I want anymore? Where's all the funny dialogue now?
2 horns. A love of red. Are you a demon?
No! I'm Apollo Justice! Nice to meet you!
That may be your outdoor voice, but you're just introducing yourself. I get that Apollo's signature characteristic is his loud voice, but surely he knows how to control his volume in civil conversation.
Looks like I have to present some proof. Proof that I'm 100% human!
And an attorney's badge apparently does just that.
Does it protect you from Enmadayo's judgment?
Who's Enmadayo?
I read somewhere that he's a demon lawyer who judges the dead for their sins. Uh-oh. I think now she thinks you're a demon lawyer from hell, Polly.
And why are we giving her ideas? On the roof! It's the Dark Knight!
His name was Rex Cuby. They say his family has ties to the legendary nine-tailed fox. He was really kind and he always looked out for me. He was a former pro wrestler, and I even heard he knew the Amazing Nine Tails.
In fact, the Amazing Nine Tails was the last person he talked to before he died. Crap, that made him sound suspicious, didn't it?
Between the warning charm being removed and the black feathers and weird tracks, I could see how a superstitious person might think a demon was the killer.
Unfortunately, the audience knows different because of what the designers made the conscious decision to show us at the beginning. This could have been a fun Scooby-Doo-esque mystery to solve, like how did the very human culprit pull off the act? But nope.
Oh, I just thought I should jot down some stuff about the case. And so I don't misplace them, I'm putting my notes in the court record.
Well, that's another feature only Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice use. The Great Ace Attorney games don't do this, unfortunately. Was the hospital really unable to wrap proper bandages around Tenma's head? Did it have to be all warning charms?
This should never have happened!
Go on.
I feared the ill effects it would have on our youth. Now I've but one choice. I must leave here at once, if only to protect the moral fiber of our youth.
I feel like that would just bring more ill effects on our youth.
This attorney's badge isn't just for show, you know.
Looks like I just found Miss Athena Sykes.
Why won't you believe me? Don't expect me to ever defend you in court if you ever get arrested.
Well, I'm the one who usually does the arresting, so... Say, shouldn't you be getting back to school?
I'm not saying this to defend that tone Athena's taking with the officer, but she already showed you her badge. Just want to check on the ID. Hey, feeling like an idiot isn't too bad. You should try it sometime. Never mind the physical assault on an authority figure there. Athena, an 18-year-old girl, effortlessly threw a grown policeman over her shoulder.
What the?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
What the?
That just makes the episode worthwhile.
I'm Apollo Justice. I work at the Wright Anything Agency.
The Wright Anything Agency? What a fishy-sounding name.
That sounds just like the place I got hired for.
So, Athena, you mentioned studying psychology?
That's right! I've always wanted to bring analytical psychology into the courtroom. The power of psychology will bring a breath of fresh air to the legal system.
Maybe you could use it during our investigations. Hey, Apollo's about to start doing that soon, so why don't you start as well?
That's the whole point of special editions, isn't it? To be the first one to get the scoop? Rapido!
Right. Well, let's see what it says here. What's the deal with the Spanish?
Because of her studies in Europe, maybe?
Mein Gott! You don't actually think it was a supernatural murder, do you?
No, of course not. No, German? Why not play with English?
Because that would be nowhere near as fun.
Come here, you little horn demon, you!
Ouch!
Filch's movement suggests a kick in the shin, but that sounds like a stretch just for the act of snatching Apollo's bracelet.
Apollo, your bracelet's gone!
Huh? Ah!
Don't you worry, Mr. Lawyer, sir. I'll check the lost and found later.
Somehow, I don't think that'll be necessary. Just check your wrist right now.
Ah, the cat's out of the bag!
It was barely in the bag in the first place.
Says the lawyer who didn't notice his bracelet was missing until his new partner pointed it out to him.
Well, I got my bracelet back, and he seems sorry enough.
Even if he is giving a smirk every now and then.
The fox chamber should be at the top of those stairs.
Whatever happened to selecting move before going someplace else? Why does that sort of thing only happen sometimes now? Wait, this isn't Emma Sky. Not even Dick Gumshoe.
I almost took you two in. You two sure were suspicious, though.
I don't know how many more times I can take being called suspicious in one day.
That's 3 times already. By this point, I'd have lost my mind. Some people keep saying that mark is an indication of the stab wound he took 7 years ago, but why not just say it's an artistic effect? Because that's all it is. It's not an indication of the injury he sustained. I mean, look at when he's adjusting his glasses. It's the same hand. The mark isn't there.
Look, there's just us and you here, right?
That sounds like bribery. I mean, sure, you and your boss have conducted unsanctioned investigations before, but dude, be more subtle.
So we move the cursor with the left analog stick.
And change our perspective with
Right, left, right, right.
Again, just put the corresponding analog stick. No need for these directions.
if there's a particular spot you want to examine, just give it a tap.
Or just press the A button if you're not using touch controls. Just saying. Okay, so only at select parts of the game am I allowed to examine anything. I wonder what led to that decision.
I heard an elderly woman was assaulted by a strange yokai shaped like a roll of cloth.
And you waited till now to tell me? I better get over there at once. In justice we trust.
That was surprisingly easy.
I know, right? It's like unless you're a female like Emma, applying for a job as detective is just asking to have your brain shrunk. Not like he stays out of the room for long anyway. After the chair is upright, yeah, that cloth should have fallen right off given how it's placed on that arm.
They're pretty big tracks, almost bird-like. The feathers also point to a bird.
Then it must be one big bird. And not of the friendly yellow type either.
Certainly not, considering there's black feathers here.
Allow me to fill you in. This door simply will not open. We've tried and tried, but it won't budge. It's an essential part of the culture found in this manor, so we can't blow it up either.
I don't think you could blow it up anyway. It's a crime scene.
Careful, Apollo, it's got blood on it!
Athena reacts to the statue having blood on it, but there's way more blood where the alderman was stabbed, and she doesn't bat an eye.
So, Mayor Tenma is your only suspect?
That's right. Even his name, Damien Tenma, makes him sound like a villain. And he's really scary looking too.
That's discrimination against name and face. Namest and facist?
The prosecutor assigned to Mayor Tenma's trial?
That's the one. He's... how shall I put it? Not what you'd expect. That is, unless you faced a convicted killer serving hard time as a prosecutor before.
I know Edgeworth pulled some strings to get Blackwell to still prosecute, but how does that work exactly? That's what I want to know.
I hadn't even noticed. Why am I barefoot?
You honestly hadn't noticed until just now?
How do the detectives get dumber each time?
So, what makes you believe the amazing Ninetales has been murdered?
You really want to know, eh? You're a studious one, ain't ya?
Yes. Just tell me, please.
So you do want to know why Filch thought the Amazing Ninetales was murdered. Don't make things so complicated, man.
Jixie! Hey, it's me!
This crap again.
That's why matches where wrestlers try to expose their opponent are so popular.
Wait, you mean expose? As in strip them naked?
Think like a demon!
You know, because it wouldn't be an Ace Attorney game without some risque humor like that.
This is the only known document depicting Tenma. After all, those who needlessly depict a demon are forever cursed.
Depictions of religious figures being forbidden in certain regions or whatever else is definitely nothing new. With that being the case, how does Jinxie have her hands on such scroll? Boy, they sure love their yokai Ninetales veil, don't they? Almost every listing in this guide seems to be something yokai related, except up in the top right corner, which I can't read, but it looks like it might be some show based on the adventures of Herlock Sholmes. Also, who even keeps a listing guide on paper these days? Isn't that crap usually available to view on the TV screen itself?
It was a complete disaster. I reckon even I could have done better than that.
There's an extra space between even and I.
Put it!
Bonjour, Montrier de la Cinématique d'Ouverture.
Beau divine? More like yokai grotesque. This place is crawling with monsters.
Huh? Excuse you!
What the heck was that for?
Presumably for thinking he is anything but beautiful. This idiot, as I've just learned, is a psychic, apparently.
In other words, you'd like to hear my alibi? To think you'd suspect me, of all people!
No, it's just a formality. We asked everyone the same questions.
How dare you doubt me? That's an affront to beauty itself!
Will you please look at the mirror every now and then and stop jumping to these conclusions of yours, please? Okay, I'll stop.
I'm looking forward to working with you, Mr. Tenma. Taro?
Friendly gesture based on what you've learned. Not. We interrupt Phoenix Friday's tourney dual Destinies to bring you Psych.
And when he lied, a certain habit made itself clear just under his right eye.
I know you're teaching us how the mechanic works, but shouldn't you leave us to find the twitch before telling us what's next?
I'm talking about Rex QB, the amazing Ninetales himself!
No way!
The ultimate was impossible!
Wait, come to think of it, Alderman QB was a former pro wrestler.
Yep, former. Meaning with the appearance of the amazing Ninetales, it would have meant Rex QB had come out of retirement. Right?
An old friend of mine from junior high and I say it all the time.
This old friend of Apollo's? Yeah, the first time we as the audience meet him, he turns up dead. Wasted opportunity right there. Let's just say you should be concise and choose your words carefully. If you'd like to keep that head of yours attached to the rest of your body, that is.
Yikes!
Better tone down my cords of steel, too.
I'm honestly a lot more concerned about how casually Phoenix talks about someone getting decapitated. Keep a close eye on the courtroom number there. Make sure you don't forget it throughout the rest of this game. Also, has it suddenly become standard now that trials don't start at 10 on the dot?
But, we need an opening statement as an overview of the case at hand.
Well then, your baldness. If it's so very important, why don't you do the honors?
Who? Me?
There's a term for people who whine and fuss about how they need silly, useless things, and then they decide they no longer want them once it's theirs. A selfish old fool.
I'm pretty sure that's not...
He's playing Simon Says with the judge.
And before playing this game, I just got done with a game of Simon Says with someone also named Simon. By fans.
Objection!
New objection soundbite for Apollo and Dual Destinies, which makes sense. After all, they also gave a new voice to Phoenix. Now, in the 2024 remaster, Ben Judd's voice clips due to sexual allegations against the man were replaced with Sam Riegel's clips. That's reasonable enough, but why not also replace Apollo's old voice clips with the new ones in Apollo Justice? It's only fair.
I don't know. It still sounds a little far-fetched.
Does it now? Then perhaps we should test the theory on you, with the edge of my blade.
So we have a prosecutor with a whip, a prosecutor that throws coffee, and now... I guess the blade-throwing prosecutor will have to wait. I mean, what did he expect was going to happen? He's still handcuffed.
I vow to resign immediately if I ever make a false arrest.
Yeah, just 3 months later. About that vow?
Your baldness. Please take a gander at those charms plastered across his cranium. I hear they're meant to keep him safe from possession by the demon Tenma Taro.
Even if that were true, which I doubt it is considering that we don't see them on his head when we first came across the scene, those charms turn out to do a real crappy job, because even if he's only pretending to be possessed, I've said enough already.
Careful, Apollo! He has the judge dancing in the palm of his hand! The power of suggestion is one of the more powerful tools in Simon Blackwell's arsenal.
This guy's supposed to preach against false charges and fabricating evidence. Psychological manipulation doesn't sound much better. Just saying.
Mr. Justice, you may proceed with your cross-examination.
Cross-examination? Wait, Fulbright already testified! Man, with all that dialogue taking about 4.5 minutes to read, I almost forgot that someone gave testimony already. Remember how quick the segue between testimony and questioning used to be?
Very well, let's hear what the defense thinks is all about the detective statue theory.
Why the multiple choice question? Only one of these even relates to what's written in the court record. What's the point?
There is a perfectly good explanation for the lack of prints on the statue. You might recall that blood-stained cloth found at the scene of the crime.
So he knows we've been investigating the scene. Wow.
A particularly frightening inmate once told me that. He always tenderly owned his blades before he went to work, like the samurai of yore.
Samurai? Sounds more like a homicidal maniac to me!
Actually, he was working in the prison kitchen at the time.
Wait, so the inmate was a murdering samurai prison chef?
He didn't say that.
Mr. Justice, we've no time to deal with objections between members of the defense.
Sorry, Your Honor. It's just, this kid's still, well, a kid.
Ouch. You meanie. I'm reporting this to Mr. Wright.
That actually sounds like the most reasonable thing to do. Maybe it can set you straight on how to properly word her rookiness.
The real killer wants us to believe some sort of monster murdered the alderman.
And we, the audience, know that to be true, which kinda sours the story a little bit. Dang it, this could have been like Scooby-Doo!
Those feathers only gave weight to the idea that the alderman was slain by a demon. The accursed demon Tenmataro, that is.
Tenma who?
Tenmataro, the legendary demon locked away in the village's forbidden chamber.
The very demon we've talked about a few times in this courtroom.
Do you honestly believe Mayor Tenma would do something so stupid?
Objection!
The evidence speaks for itself. Fulbright!
The argument is that Mayor Tenma not only killed the alderman, he had also previously dressed as Tenmataro. The evidence speaks for itself, and yet Fulbright's lines following this don't amount to an explanation for how.
Now then, the defense may proceed with their cross-examination.
Well, that was almost 3 minutes of nothing.
At present, the alderman's wife is in the hospital, and that letter is clear evidence the mayor was blackmailing him by threatening her life.
Clear evidence? All I see is a blackmail letter. There's no addressee or signature. Just it being in the alderman's pocket.
Mayor Tenma would have made a clean getaway if he just left after planting the yokai things. But he was knocked out cold by his sudden decision to kill the amazing Ninetails.
I know Fulbright is supposed to be stupid, but I'm pretty sure even he shouldn't think the footprints and blood should exist before the murder. How do you make bloody footprints if there's no blood in which to make said bloody footprints?
And if you look right here, it's clear when the feathers and tracks were left at the scene.
Remember when Ace Attorney didn't require you to point out every little detail about your argument to make it work? I know it's up to the attorney to explain his arguments, but just by seeing the photo, I feel like you should have the proof you need that the feathers and tracks were left at the crime scene only after the alderman had already been murdered.
There must have been someone else besides the mayor and the alderman at the crime scene!
Ah! There must be some mistake!
Order!
Where's your evidence? You can't possibly have any, can you?
Evidence? I just gave it to you. A type of evidence called logic.
Apollo! The momentum has shifted in our favor.
Good. Now let's keep it that way.
Objection!
Gosh dang it, Blackwell! I was enjoying the awesome pursuit music, which actually, why did it even start playing?
Now, if I could just zero in on a tell, some sort of nervous habit.
What in the...
Oh, come on! Who let a hawk in the courtroom? And just when I was about to use the freaking bracelet, too! Also, that face does not work in 3D.
Allow me to introduce my trusty cohort, Taka. He seems to have taken a liking to the courthouse. Made it his new home, in fact.
He doesn't live with you? You know, in jail?
What, did they abolish the whole animal thing after the last prison warden got arrested for murder?
Taka simply loathes trickery and fraud, and that queer power of yours seems to have offended my dear bosom buzzard.
This isn't some sort of trick or...
What exactly do Taka and Blackwell see in Apollo's bracelet that would be considered cheating? What about Athena's mood matrix? Is that any less cheating than using a bracelet? Like, I know Blackwell wanted to encourage Athena's use in psychology, but still.
Mr. Justice, please proceed with your cross-examination.
2 minutes this time. Getting better, and as a matter of fact, everything in that segue seemed important enough. No sins here because everything was relevant this time.
He claims to have been watching TV in the foyer at the same time, but that's nothing but a bald-faced lie!
Bold, you say? But I'm not the one who's lying. Perhaps you meant the witness, Mr. Justice.
I also didn't say you were the one watching TV and the foyer at the same time. Of course I meant the freaking witness!
Granted, Miss Tanuki was lax in his duties, but he still had the foyer entrance covered.
What are you talking about?
this.
I'm not a mind reader. Ah!
Auditory sense.
Oh, well, you can't blame Apollo for not catching that.
The witness will henceforth testify truthfully on the penalty of painful bird attacks.
Dang it, now I wish I brought up sooner how ridiculous it is he's even allowing Taka to remain in the courtroom. Now he's encouraging animal attacks.
Mr. Filch says Tenmataro jingle jangles. Would you consider that vital information?
We just talked about how this compares to Jinxie's account, so of course it's vital information. This game sure likes pressing buttons.
Bloody. You duplicitous little.
Who'da thunk? This samurai is actually British.
Objection!
Superstitions, you say? What kind of a fool would actually believe such rubbish? And would that using some silly fairy tale could so easily expose the culprit? You'll need to come up with a more rational, common sense explanation than that.
What's not common sense about my explanation? You're telling me he has the strength to bust out of those handcuffs at any time? This is why he should be prosecuting as a prisoner. Okay, now we see the blade that Blackwell was talking about. How's the legal system getting more and more tolerant of this stuff?
Then get going already before he kills us!
Oh, but I stand in awe of Simon Blackwell, for it is his sense of justice that set him free.
Is it his sense of justice that compels him to cut our frickin' heads off? Do something about it anyway, you colossal imbecile!
So the court will take a 10-minute recess in order to... Ah!
3 minutes.
I'm sorry, but a 3-minute recess?
Just so. Plenty of time if your destination of intent is the loo.
The loo? You mean the bathroom?
Shit! At least include enough time to wash our hands.
Blackwell's even controlling the recess time? What? In that case, why even have a recess in this chapter? Especially since you're not moving on to the next chapter after the recess has been declared. Remember when these chapters were shorter? Game wants me to believe this is the reflection that would be cast from this angle, to which I say, shove it! Kiss off! You smell! Who is she slapping the charm to from all the way over there?
Bags.
Bags? Oh, that tricksy Tanuki. Try the noodle stand, and go enjoy a big bowl of Tanuki tail noodles while you're at it.
I'm sure you love your jokes, but what about the bags under your eyes? You know, the ones that same Tanuki referred to earlier?
The only thing needing washing will be your father's neck before I take his head clean off.
Perfect thing to tell a paranoid child with only her father left, not to mention she believes demons exist. Not. But more striking is the fact that it doesn't seem to phase her.
So she was. And still is. Seeing ordinary objects as yokai.
I feel like that was clear from the moment we met her.
Apollo, can you point out the yokai on the Wheel of Fire? She seems particularly terrified of that one.
If I studied analytical psychology, I might be able to figure out how she could tell that it's Kasha of all yokai she was scared of.
Jinxie, what about this white wall-like monster?
What do you mean white? That wall looks more yellow to me.
And this raccoon dog isn't a Tanuki monster. It's just the statue of one.
Raccoon, as I've come to learn, is actually spelled with 2 C's.
I don't know what I was thinking.
That plate just cracked. Then it's fine again next we see her.
But it's not just contradictory emotions you should look out for. You should also keep an eye out for sudden changes in an emotion's intensity. Her emotions might get stronger or weaker as you move from statement to statement.
Oh, now you tell me, after I scroll through all the statements in the Move Matrix. I may have used it once, but it's still a new mechanic.
A killer other than Mayor Tenma himself would be utterly inconceivable.
No!
No.
Mr. Justice, I heard the word objection, but what is it you object to?
Prosecutor Blackwell's mind games, perhaps?
The prosecution has some fine Japanese steel waiting unless you explain yourself quickly.
Stop encouraging prosecutors to murder the defense attorney, especially not during a murder trial, you lunatic. I hope for your sake you never get framed for murder, because if that happens, don't expect me to represent you.
Exiting the room before locking the door would require taking the key outside. But the key was found inside the room, which does seem like a contradiction.
That reminds me of this one time last spring when I had a package delivered. But, well, I lived where we have a community mailbox. Those things require a key to open to get our mail. And when my package arrived, for days we were unable to find the key to our mailbox. We only found out later after I got in contact with the post office and the carrier arrived to deliver the mail and packages that the key had actually been locked inside the mailbox. Because, you know, it was one of those locks that only stays unlocked as long as because the key is there. All that just to say, the Fox Chamber would obviously be nothing like that community mailbox in regards to how the lock works.
How could the master key be at the crime scene, despite the room being locked tight?
What if someone threw it into a room from outside? You know, something like go into the hallway door, lock the room, and then toss the key back in through the window?
I just picked the option that made the most sense given how ridiculous they all sounded, and this is what I wound up with?
Now that I've proved a possible third party, I don't see how our client could be guilty.
Premature celebration.
There's a large window in the foyer. It's possible to escape through there without being seen by the security camera.
I hope you realize you're just setting up the next piece of evidence I had to present, right?
That image is not but trick photography, or some other form of artifice.
Okay, then how about the Tenma Taro figure, Mr. Filchshaw? It just vanished into thin air?
No, there is a rational, common-sense explanation for that. That infernal yokai our Trixie Tanuki witnessed never reached the entrance. He, or should I say, she, turned back before the camera's electric eye.
Okay, but what about the special edition photo, genius?
Hold on! The defense will stop competing for the greatest freakout ever!
You tell him, Judge. Leave that to the culprits.
Foolish mortals! I am Tenma Taro, the yokai you seek.
Just when I thought we saw enough ridiculousness already.
He wants to convict our client any way he can, even if it means blaming a yokai!
I wonder if Von Karma would have done anything of the sort.
A guilty verdict is all but...
What's wrong with him?
Prosecutor Blackquill, we've had enough of your hijinks!
Where was that shock when he first started threatening us, you idiot?
Hey! Before you go, let me make the evidence you no longer need disappear. 3, 2, 1, ta-da!
How do you know we won't need those anymore? Well, obviously we won't, but don't bother answering by saying magic.
Well, here's our vent. It's awfully high up.
Don't worry, I brought a stepladder. Happy hunting!
They're overcomplicating things a little bit. The supposition is that the killer went through the air vent starting out in the hallway. No need to climb up to the vent in the ceiling to test the theory. Also, no, it's not a stepladder, it's a ladder! Rawr!
I can't believe Prosecutor Blackwell would stoop that low! I mean, to pin the blame on a yokai? He really wants that conviction at all costs!
The way she's describing Blackwell, you'd think perhaps he was a disciple of Von Karma.
That whole yokai business is most likely a ploy to win a conviction. Truth is, Prosecutor Blackquill believes Jinxie Tenma planted that yokai stuff, planted it in an effort to protect her father, the real killer.
And Tenma's son yokai outburst stops the conviction from going through... how exactly?
Did Prosecutor Blackwell figure out that the victim was the Amazing Ninetales?
What do you mean, did he figure it out? Isn't that a big part of his argument regarding the defendant's motive for murder?
Speaking of which, isn't Jinxie also a fan of the Amazing Ninetales?
What's the point of this flashback?
I think it's safe to say that things have gotten hairier than before.
Nah, I'd say more like featherier.
Mayor Tenma, we wanted to talk to you about something.
Kasha!
Does he have to keep pretending to be Tenma Taro? The only reason he even started was to protect his daughter. Now he's just talking to his lawyers.
Jinxie, are you alright?
Every time!
Morning, Jinxie.
Morning. Isn't it already past noon?
Yes, as a matter of fact, it is actually. I wonder if LaBelle, with his hair color product, ever decides on certain days, maybe I should dye my hair yellow today. Then on Tuesday, I can make my hair blue. On Wednesday, I'll dye my hair green. Oh, the many choices I have.
Oh yeah, before we switch to the Fox Chamber, we should ask about the blackmail letter.
No, I'm pretty sure that's unnecessary unless we're facing him in the courtroom, which we'll have to do anyway.
Where do you buy clothes like that?
Surprised? This is my own special design. It's the ultimate in functional beauty.
Functional beauty? Are you sure about that? Looks a bit unwieldy to me.
There's cell phones on his suit, and they ring like cell phones. I'm pretty sure these things work. I'm only with you on the beauty part.
After all, you're the only one who knew that the blackmail letter was in his briefcase. So, naturally, you...
I think that spray of cologne just said it all about why it was a bad idea to show him the blackmail letter now.
Now let me show you what to do with this garbage.
Ah! You can't destroy evidence like that!
You're the one who gave him the opportunity, you moron!
Once, she even put on a Tenmataro costume and wandered around the woods at night.
That's not what the anime cutscene shows. It just shows her in her normal maid outfit, then transforming into Tenmataro. Which, if that's actually supposed to be reflective of how the villagers see the rumor about Jinxie, I feel like that should raise this question. Why is it that while possessing the mayor, Tenmataro is more ghost-like, as in using the mayor's body as a vessel? Meanwhile, in possessing Jinxie, she just straight up transforms. Ever heard of a demon this selective on something like this?
You wish to carry my new product at your store? Oh, but I'm afraid it is my own private brand. It's not available to the public. What? Then I shouldn't advertise it on TV? But I don't understand! As the embodiment of beauty, it is my duty to announce my good looks to the world!
The dude's just looking out for your financial welfare, just to make sure you don't go on welfare. Is it even possible to be this narcissistic?
This is my latest product. I'm calling it Couleur Millebelle, a dazzling hair color that you can wash out with just water.
Guess that means you can't sweat.
I have 7 colors in all. You can find out more in my commercials and magazine ads.
So far, the hair colors we know about are yellow, green, blue, violet, and jet black. Maybe those advertisements show the other two?
Oh, I know. I'll break it down with a body slam.
I seriously doubt you could do that.
How do you know if I haven't even tried?
Just because you can hurl a grown man over your shoulder with ease doesn't mean you can break down a metal door locked with metal.
If a spear comes shooting my way, I'll snatch it out of the air. After all, I have the reflexes of a regular karate kid.
Did Mr. Miyagi teach you to catch arrows like that? You'd think that when examining something up close, you'd be able to use the right stick to change the angle, but nope, you use the left stick the entire time. I know you're emulating from the 3DS version, but why not optimize the controls for Switch?
Let's go over that screen with a fine-tooth comb.
Sure, just let me turn around and examine it all over again.
You can also zoom in and out with X and B to get a better look.
X and B? X and B? What's wrong with using Y to zoom out? Why would you change it to B since in the same collection I'm playing this on, Apollo Justice had you using Y to zoom out? Just because Y is being used to view history? You had no problem before, I repeat, in the same collection! I'm not done ranting though. This only applies to remasters, and I'm simply using the Switch version as the example here, but in Rise from the Ashes and the entirety of Apollo Justice, you use X and Y for zooming in and out, like I said before. In the Investigations collection, you use L and R to zoom in and out, but Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice, it's X and B. Changing Y to B notwithstanding, my point is pick a control scheme, Capcom! What is the button layout, dang it?
Well, the Flux Chamber's vent didn't branch this way.
Maybe it doesn't have anything to do with this case after all. Oh, look, there's some yellow thing strapped to his back.
Yellow thing? Athena's lacking in imagination, methinks.
Why do you think there are so many here?
Maybe they're spares. Tenmataro might be, absent-minded or something.
Anyone else here first think absent-mindedness when they find spares of something, anything at all, in a room? I don't.
How about obeying the law before you go obeying superstitions?
Huh?
Hey! What are you doing with Widget around your neck? He's mine!
The way that last line was written, it seemed like she just noticed a stolen widget, but the previous line suggests she already noticed.
Sorry. I promise I won't do it again.
Yes, you will.
I guess you can't teach an old raccoon dog new tricks.
And would you look at that, this line actually spells raccoon correctly, and it's spoken by the same character too.
Ouch! Hey, watch it!
Are we taking this back now? Kinda like family to me.
You don't even believe in that crap!
She allegedly left the yokai evidence at the scene while under a demon's power. At least that's what the prosecution's going to claim at tomorrow's trial. Huh?
Gosh dang it, Tenma! Can't you just not pretend to be Tenmataro while talking to your lawyers about the case? It's not even me making the claim about Jinxie.
Whatever the case, Tenmataro brings nothing but pain and misfortune. It's as the superstitions warn. You must not gaze upon him nor free him from his prison.
But how can people actually believe that?
Hey, you'd be surprised at what people believe, such as, for example, the deities of Greek, Roman, and Norse mythology. Mythology has the word myth in the name.
Well, at least we know who's behind this whole Tenmataro thing now.
Yeah, and I think we need to have another nice long chat with Mr. LaBelle.
You could do that in court. No need to do it now. I don't remember if I ever caught the violet hair previously. It just looked blue due to the shade, but now I know different. Violet! That's Violet, Violet! But also, he had blue hair before, and suddenly he decided, no, I think violet would suit the day better. Make up your mind, dang it.
So, have you been called to testify tomorrow?
Yes, and I'm so looking forward to my courtroom debut. But you'll just have to wait until then.
I knew that coming here was pointless!
Maybe if I speak softly, I won't startle her and get a charm plastered on my forehead.
Psst! Jinxie!
Huh? Oh, hello, Mr. Demon Lawyer.
Geez, finally we start a conversation without a charm.
Uh-huh. It's a charm for rebuilding burnt bridges.
Oh, right. For the municipal merger issue.
No, it's for the Demon Lawyer and the Insomniac Prosecutor. It'll stop you two from fighting like you did in court this morning.
We weren't fighting. It was a spirited debate. It's what we lawyers are.
Guess there's no getting out of it, huh?
You were very nervous when you said, "That's all he said," weren't you? I know because I saw your fingers move as you were going to slap someone with a charm.
Just the fact she was even in that position was enough to make it seem she was ready to use the dang thing for the upteenth time.
It was nothing. He was just talking in his sleep.
Talking in his sleep? So you admit that he did say something else?
How could you tell? Only a demon could have such power.
Or, like Blackwell once said, common sense. I just noticed something. The border around the text at this screen just doesn't look natural. Look at Dave, for instance. Fill in the empty space in the D, but between the A and the Y, fill that crap up. I don't know, something about it bothers me.
Athena Sykes, Assistant Defender, is ready too, Your Honor. Je suis prêt.
Je suis prêt is the masculine version of the sentence. This context demands it to be prête, which is the feminine version.
By the way, I asked Detective Fulbright to provide sturdier shackles today. There will be no more of your funny business this time, Prosecutor Blackquill.
And this time, in the event he does break out of his shackles again, Fulbright better be there to zap the crap out of Blackwell with immediate effect instead of near the end of the proceedings.
It's plain to see that you've always dreamed of delivering an epic opening statement.
I have? I don't know if I'd say that.
Why, of course you have. I saw it in your eyes the last time you gave the opening statement. That was the look of one who yearns deeply for the thrill of an epic opening statement. For decades now, you have been watching opening statements from your bench. They were the crown jewels of the court. The one thing you could not possess.
All he had to do was go for the career of prosecutor, not of judge. This psychological manipulation shouldn't have worked, except this is the judge from Ace Attorney we're talking about here.
Oh, so you don't mind if I do it then?
I'll make a special exception. Just this once.
Whatever he means by just this once. Also, any particular reason for Blackwell to dodge the opening statement? Any at all? Come on, Gabe, give me something.
In yesterday's session, we learned the shocking truth that the victim, Alderman Rex Cuby, was the amazing Ninetales.
Hate to burst your bubble while you're making your glorious opening statement, Your Honor, but that was already part of the basis for the prosecution's argument against the defendant.
It was further revealed that upon learning Rex Cuby's secret identity, Mayor Damien Tentma murdered him.
No, the heck it wasn't, though. If it was revealed, we wouldn't be here still deliberating his guilt or innocence in this courtroom.
Now then, it seems the prosecution has called a new witness to testify.
I wish. Instead, it's Shorty again.
Perhaps we should shackle you by the neck. That would keep you in place.
Yipes! No, please! I'm liable to rip my own head off if I start running.
That's kind of the idea.
Well, you're not gonna brush it all off by claiming the perp was short!
Must have hit a wall now, cause you ain't that tall yourself.
Look who's talking, mister. I'd go to stand on a box just to testify.
That's still embarrassing, though. Even Eustace Winter at 17 is taller than 23-year-old Apollo Justice over here. I'm not kidding. According to the Ace Attorney Wiki, Apollo Justice stands at 5'5", meanwhile Eustace Winter stands at 5'8". Also, this is one of the very rare times when Apollo's height is brought into character dialogue. Not like that's a defining characteristic. I mean, come on. It's not like that's ever going to come into play in any of the episodes so far, right?
Fulbright, analyze these footprints. You have 3 minutes.
An obsession with 3 minutes. There is Von Karma blood in this guy after all!
Fingerprint analysis has revealed that the prints belong to Phineas Filch.
Objection!
Wait, what? What?
No need to raise an objection just to be shocked.
You fool of a tanuki!
Throw yourself in next time and rid us of your stupidity.
What if it was tossed outside the manor? Ah!
No way!
The game spoiled the answer for me.
This evidence proves you got rid of your Tenmataro costume through the window!
After showing me the newspaper clipping before I pointed at the window, which was also shown to me beforehand, seriously, why did they do that? Why did they just straight up show you the next two answers to this puzzle? Not only would I have already figured it out without the hints, leave them out of the game! I didn't need them at all!
Whose alibi no longer adds up?
Just the guy who we saw kill someone at the beginning of the episode, and who we were just talking about not long ago at all. I'd be a bit more inclined to believe it's 10:25 at this point, if the trial started at 10 o'clock instead of 9:30. I've seen my fair share of cheating on the time in the past, but the recess was only supposed to be 20 minutes, yet it's actually 35. All those other instances were cheating. This is cheating. I already thought LaBelle looked like the Joker before, but it's only now that the resemblance is all too clear. Also, shouldn't he be off those calls since he's in court right now? You know, those phones ought to be on silent.
The truth is, I faked my alibi for a very good reason. The mayor was obviously the killer, so I created a fake alibi to confuse the matter.
Obviously, he would say, "It was me, I admit to killing the alderman," but that has to be the worst excuse for perjury ever. You might as well just say you're the murderer.
Begone ye of cowardly heart. The battlefield hath no place for ye.
Again?
Oh my.
Spare me, please!
So much for sturdier shackles.
Apollo Justice would be amazing at CinemaSins.
The mayor, who was barely conscious, muttered this. Forgive me, Jinxie. I killed the alderman. That's right! The mayor actually confessed to the murder right then and there!
That was all he had to say he witnessed. No need to bring up Tenmataro or whatever the heck. Matches up with what Jinxie said. This is a far better alibi than what he originally said.
In shock, I fled down the hallway to my right, to the one with the phone at the end.
I was gonna comment about LaBelle lying about having called the police being something easy to verify, but he's so sneaky. Semantics dictate he never said anything about making a call.
The defense may cross-examine our slightly voyeuristic witness.
I know what the judge means by this, but we're talking about someone having witnessed a murder, not some kind of sexual activity.
When Jinxie Tenma unlocked the Fox Chamber, she saw the alderman and the mayor collapse therein, and no one else.
Oh.
Dang it!
The fact is, it was you two who made that apparent in yesterday's court session. Thus, Florent LaBelle could not possibly have been in that locked room.
I don't know, Jinxie didn't need the master key just to open the door to the Fox Chamber. In fact, it was in the Fox Chamber where she took the master key from. What if, and this is all hypothetical, LaBelle used the master key to get in, then he killed the alderman, and before Jinxie unlocked the door, LaBelle hid behind the folding screen, and that's why he wasn't seen. I mean, we already heard LaBelle talk about hiding behind the folding screen to overhear the mayor's supposed confession. Barring the mayor's confession, what makes the possibility of LaBelle hiding behind the folding screen to avoid being seen by Jinxie any less plausible?
Objection! Silence!
Rude.
Hold it!
Your daughter is not being accused anymore! Why does this guy need to keep pretending to be Tenmataro?
Bailiff, don't just stand there. Seize him.
It's no good. I can't restrain him.
Have you even tried? Get the taser or something!
I call animal abuse, Your Honor!
If it was you attacking the hawk, that would be animal abuse. Also, was that really necessary?
Yeah, I can hear it. The discord in his heart.
Like father, like daughter, I guess. If the mood matrix is the way to push this trial forward, may as well get it over with.
You need to present evidence that contradicts the image you see.
Oh, so it's basically the same as the usual cross-examination process.
Yeah, just without the pressing.
Well, Mr. Justice, let's see if you have a head worth keeping on your shoulders.
And me sucking at lawyering means I don't?
Shall I show you what a truly sharp blade is capable of?
I think I'll pass.
So the tossing of the blade finally knocked Apollo off his feet?
Rather than Jinxie didn't remove the disguise, maybe she couldn't remove it. And rather than she didn't tell anyone about the disguise, maybe it was she couldn't talk about it.
This was all something I could figure out on my own, but this flashback just straight up tells you the answer you're looking for. Okay, and now you're just making it even more easy.
Jinxie, no doubt, knew the true identity of the Amazing Ninetales, but she couldn't tell anyone no matter what. That's why she didn't say it was the Amazing Ninetales she saw passed out. Even though, unbeknownst to her, it was really Fort LaBelle in disguise!
Silence! The accused and that deceitful dandy are utterly dissimilar in physical build and voice. The little scamp would have seen the difference.
Voice? Maybe. Build? I don't know about that. Looking at the official images, I don't see a whole lot of difference in build. Sure, Mayor Tenma is undoubtedly larger than LaBelle, but I don't think the difference would be immediately noticeable to Jinxie. Also, different voice and build didn't stop some strong, angry dude with mob connections from passing as Phoenix Wright himself. Gosh dang it, LaBelle! Pick a hair color and stick with it!
Mayor Tenma is not the Amazing Ninetales.
Objection!
What do you mean?
Well, has the mayor admitted to it yet?
But that's just...
And even if he did admit to such nonsense, I would reveal the truth behind Tenma Taro right here and now.
So basically, you're saying he is the Amazing Ninetales and you're just trying to blackmail him into saying he's not.
Do not gaze upon Tenma Taro. Do not tell others if you see him. Isn't that what the village superstitions say?
Exactly! Telling others what Tenma Taro looks like would reveal the truth.
By that logic, the only scroll depicting Tenma Taro would have already done that. That is, if Tenma Taro wasn't a piece of gold.
Could Tenma Taro actually be...
The very thing you just remembered Filch talking about, also what LaBelle mentioned it to be. It can't be a human being in that case.
Well, you know what they say. The love of money is the root of all evil.
Which while some coveted after, they have erred from the faith, and pierced themselves through with many sorrows. 1 Timothy 6:10. Yep, a Bible reference in an Ace Attorney game.
Please, no!
Please no.
Hang on, you demented demon!
He could be talking to Tenma Taro, LaBelle, or even both.
Yeesh, Rube Goldberg machines have less elaborate setups than LaBelle's scheme.
Tell me about it. The revisualization sequence is cool for aesthetics, and in concept, it's pretty neat. You get to review the facts of the case as you know it, and piece together what you need to present your final argument. That being said, it's got a pretty mixed result in between its episodes. Sometimes it's great to think through everything and nail the coffin of the real killer, but the final argument in this particular episode could just be summed down to, there's white hair in the Amazing Ninetales mask. The victim may have had white hair, but one problem, the victim was not the Amazing Ninetales, thus it makes no sense for him to have worn it. So whose hair is in this mask? Then from there, we could easily narrow it down to LaBelle using the hair color spray as the reason we never see him with white hair. Any other Race Attorney game would have had you present evidence to make those arguments, but this is dual Destinies, baby. We gotta make this stand out from the other Race Attorney games more than just the advent of Athena Sykes and her mood matrix.
What are you talking about? I never had hideous white hair like that!
Silence! It would appear your coup de grace failed to hit its mark.
Hey, let me make my argument, then you can judge.
You peasant! How dare you! You prevent my duty! My laws! I'm going to exterminate you! Let it be on! No! My makeup!
No way in heck Capcom expected people to read the rambling that quickly during LaBelle's breakdown right there.
This is preposterous. I, Simon Blackquill, defeated?
Then lamenting his defeat. This guy is a full-on Von Karma.
LaBelle hid his past well, much like he did his beauty with makeup. He's mired in debt. Debt due to pouring money into a brand only he could love. Which is why he sought the gold with such ferocity.
But he's the one that thought it was a good idea to advertise his products but not sell them to the public. This is all his own fault. I'd be much more attached to his motive if it was because he was trying to sell his brand to the public but no one ever bought it. Because other than poor business decisions and not knowing the gold was already stolen, this plan was actually pretty clever, if convoluted.
I believe it's time I declare the verdict. This court finds the defendant, Damien Tenma, not guilty.
I would have asked this with Turnabout Countdown, but with this episode taking place at the beginning of this game's timeline, I figured this would be a much more appropriate time to ask. Whatever happened to the juris system? It was only for one trial, and by the sound of it, that one trial was pretty much a resounding success. What happened to get that system abolished again? I only spent like an hour trying to argue LaBelle's involvement in the crime, yet the game says 2 hours and 23 minutes.
Too bad the Amazing Ninetales will have to retire, though.
Aw, how come?
How come? Maybe because his identity was revealed? Was he wearing those wrestling pants under his suit the whole time?
Athena has no idea what she's getting into. Mr. Eldon's noodles are so hot and salty. 2 bowls would kill a man.
Yeah, a man. Never said anything about a woman.
The dark age of the law seemed so distant, so irrelevant to our small, cozy office. But little did I know that it had been lurking all along, right there behind us. The first time it made itself known was during the murder at Themis Legal Academy.
I'm interested to hear about that, but I'm also interested in Phoenix's first case upon his return to the courtroom. I heard something about him defending Shamu, thought to have killed the owner of the aquarium she was kept in.
Objection! No! F***ing hell. Oh, that was... Oh, right. For the municipal... I hate that word. I hate that word. I hate that word. Oh, right. For the municipal... Oh, right. For the municipal... Damn it! Oh, right. For the why do I... It's one word. It's municipal... Oh, right. For the municipal... Did I say it right? Was that it? Oh, right. For the municipal merger issue. Yes! Yes, that was it! Yeah, I was like, yeah! You were very nervous when you said, that's all he said, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you? What? Oh, so it's basically the same as the usual cross-examination.
Tisk? How do you tisk? That's a weird sound. Don't affect me to ever affect what? That's not the words. Why won't you believe me? Don't affect me to... why am I saying the wrong word here? That's the whole point of special editions, isn't it? To be the first one to get the scoop? Rapido! So we move the cursor with left, 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 left. Wait, what? Am I just supposed to say L? Do I say left or L? That's not left. Okay. So we move the cursor with up... Wait. How am I supposed to deliver that? Wait, what? How do I say that? Will left work? So we move the cursor with the left analog stick. Is that, you know what? That might work. I heard an old, and that is not an old.
It's no good! I can't restrain him! Ooh, it's no good! Oh, I can't restrain him! It's no good! I can't restrain him! It's no good! I can't restrain him anymore, Captain! It's no good! I can't restrain him! It's no good! I can't restrain him! Ah, it's no good! I can't restrain him! It's no good! I can't restrain him! No! Damn! No sirve, no puedo candelero, señor judge! That's a reference to Let's Dub Project's running gag of the Hispanic bailiff, the crazy Hispanic bailiff. Yeah. Messed up. We're keeping that in the bloopers.
Does it protect you from Emma Dios, Judge? Oh! Judge! Oh no. His name was Rex QB. They say his family has ties to the Uh-huh. It's... Uh-huh. Mickey Mouse, no.